Hey folks, good old happy Friday to you. Um, it's Friday, it's my excuse. Yeah, August 31st is Friday. It's nearing about 9:30 p.m. Okay, the suspense is over. You're about to see it here in just a little bit if you don't hear it first. Um, where do I begin? How can I tell you the story? 2 months ago, Dad and I had a conversation, started mulling around the fact that, holy crap, what are we going to do about keeping the barn warm this winter? Folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. You cannot let a barn go cold. It's going to crumble away, especially with the temperatures that we get. Well, the reason we have that problem now, about 13 years ago or so, we'll say 13, when this farm stopped milk production, sold off all the milk cows, and went beef. The Holstein heifers were retained, kept, and a process started to breeding, having bred heifers every year to supply to the big boys. And then, therefore, we always had them in the barn for warmth to help keep the barn warm. And long story short, that time is gone. There is no more Holstein bred heifers. There's three of them, but they're going bye bye here, I believe, October. And hold on, folks. So we have a little problem. This barn needs to be kept warm. It needs to be kept operating. The barn cleaner needs to remain working, running. If things don't continue to work and run, even if it's just during the winter time, it's going to fail. It's going to crumble apart. Okay? Holy crumps, what are we going to do? Well, the easy answer with a pretty good price tag on it is to, we're not putting the beef animals in here. Even some of the feeder weights, come this November, December, it's just, we're not doing it. Okay? You might have heard that. Another easy answer would be, well, buy some feeder cattle. I tell you what, it's a buyer's market right now, unfortunately. Well, depends who you are. It's a buyer's market. That's a pile of money, though. That's a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you something right now. A lot of you are mistaken. I apparently put on a good show. Money is very valuable to me. $20 is very valuable to me. The little money that I do have and have coming in, which I'm very proud of, is all going towards Angus heifers this winter for fall sales. If I had to talk loosely here, I'd say about 15. And then I'm looking at about another 20, 25 Angus heifers. And maybe, even a cow, a first or second year calving cow in the spring. So the answer is not to spend some money and get some feeders in here. Well, what are you left with? All right, here we go. You ain't gonna believe this. Ooh. That bull doesn't like me in here. All right, folks, feast your eye on some bottle calves. This is the small pen. We got a good conversation to have here in just 2 seconds after you take a nice little look. Here's the bigger group. They were separated, which is a wise thing to do. If you're getting a collection of calves and they're going to be grouped together, which I decided to do for a little convenience here, and we're going to talk about that. This is the group of the bigger ones. Folks, you need to understand something. I want you to take a look at these calves. These calves are all a week old or less. weak young, I should say. Look at the size of these guys. Huh? So, how did this process start? Well, it's kind of funny. A few weeks ago, I got a phone call from one of my calf suppliers from the last few years. Calls me up and he goes, Ben, stupid question, but I have to make the phone call. I'm like, sure, you know, what? He goes, we are so overloaded on calves, it ain't even funny. Are you in the market at all for taking any calves, even if it's just a half a dozen? I go, well, it's pretty funny you say that. I go, I'm looking at that route possibly. You know, I'm looking for a great handful to keep the barn warm. Long story short, we continued the conversation, and of course these were, you know, just your regular Holstein bull calves. And the deal fell through, and it wasn't because of the pricing. I gave a pretty fair market price, and in fact, they were actually, I think they were pleased with the price, but as a week went on, they decided to go a different route, and that's, hey, that's great, that's okay. Well, okay, I still have to do something here. My goal was 24 bottle calves raised in the barn here in these pens for convenience. You guys need to understand that I'm still gone a few days a week or so. You know, raising them for 3 months, so let's just say December 1st, and then I got to rig something up. I don't have the lights on, but putting them in these tie stalls in one way, shape, or form or the other. Now on December 1st, they'll be 3 months old. Immediately get another 24 and line all these 4 pens, and maybe even 30, and get that back pen filled up too. That, you know, these little animals, they're not the kind of heat that you're looking for, but they'll serve a purpose of helping heat the barn, body heat. So anyway, now I'm bound to determine it's the only fix for heat for this winter, and that's bottle calves now. You know, I want them to be at least 3 months old come December 1st. Get them tied up somehow or another. I don't know how I'm going to do this, and then get these pens filled again with more bottle calves, another 24 or 30 of them. So that one deal fell through, and so I started making some phone calls, and I made a phone call that I should have made probably about 2-3 years ago. There is a farm, I'm not going to name any names, I don't know, they might not appreciate it, I don't know why, but there's a farm that we have here in the UP of Michigan. It's only 45 minutes from me. It's one of the larger, I think it's actually the largest operating dairy farm in the UP of Michigan. I believe they're milking just under 2,000 head, which is, that's, you know, that might be nothing to some of you guys, but that's a tall order. And so anyway, I gave him a call. And it was a great phone call, great cordial people, for crying out loud. I mean, they're busy. It's a family-run farm. But they actually gave me the time of day. I explained myself. They're like, well, Ben, I tell you what, you got some good luck because you called us right at the exact time. We have some calves we need to get rid of. And started off with 12. Went over there. It was an exceptional visit, folks. The most healthy visit I've had in a long time. The care that these people put into these calves is unbelievable. Maybe someday when I go back, which I'm going back there next week for another 12 of them, I need to fill up the other 2, we call them the maternity pens. I need to fill up this pen with 6, this pen with 6. And they're going to have them. They're going to have them all for me Friday or Saturday morning of next week. I need to do a video. I'm going to ask permission the next time I'm there and do a video of that place. It's, boy, what an operation. So anyway, what we have here, folks, is these are not just your run-of-the-mill black and white Holsteins. This farm has started a handful of years ago a state-of-the-art crossbreeding system. My words aren't correct here. You should have seen the size of these damn animals, these milk cows at this farm. Unbelievable. So some of these reds, and man, I should have really had my language correct here. There's some Swedish reds in here. There is a Galloway. No, it's not a belted Galloway. Who knows? And I'll get more information for you next week. There's also some breeding of, what is it, Hyvek? Somebody's going to correct me, and I hope you do, which has got like a Simmental to it. These animals are just huge. You've seen these calves. These calves are not even a week old. Look at that big pig right there. In fact, that big pig had to get a shot earlier. He wasn't doing too good. He's got a little bit of a naval infection, and he was pretty droopy, but looks like he's kicking pretty good, and so are you. You wily son of a gun. Jeez. Look at the size of these calves. So, pretty happy about it. An absolute great relationship was just started today. I'm tickled to death about it. Folks, I barely gave anything for these calves. I am almost going to feel ashamed tonight, when I go to bed. Now, here's the deal. The calf market, dairy market, Holstein market of any kind is crap right now, and has been for quite a while. These calves at a sales barn aren't worth diddly. Yeah, they're worth some money. You'll be lucky if you don't get a bill for trucking though. So we talked turkey, and I paid what I paid for them at their request, and I got to tell you, I'm happy as a lark. And we'll see what happens. So, yeah. This is a smaller pen here. There'll be another dozen coming next weekend, and I'm going to have a little better information for you. In each one of these pens, I have one of these 5-foot little black plastic bunks. This is a country calf mix, which is equivalent almost to a Purina Startina, except it's a lot less molassesy, and you get double the amount of feed for half the price. They got some good second crop grassy hay here, which they haven't touched any of this yet, and they're not going to for a while. They'll investigate it, but that's about all they're going to do. They also both have a pail of water. Of course, I keep a bag of that country calf mix on each side. And the never-ending story of Milk Replacer. These guys are all on milk bars. I have 4 milk bars. They're 4 6-teat milk bars. And I tell you what, tomorrow night I'll do a little video on feeding these guys Milk Replacer. Right now I got to have a really steady, keen concentration, make sure that they all get on the teat, because I'll be honest with you, it was a little rough tonight. They weren't used to it, and I got to get them used to it. So I think after tomorrow morning's feeding, tomorrow night I'll probably do a video on these milk bars, which are just awesome. So anyway, yeah. The better news is, of course, I got these 12 here. There's 12 more coming next week, so that's 24. They're going to be raised till December 1st. That's 24 of them. They're going to fill up every tie stall that we have in the barn here. I should have turned on that other light. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. These people, just great people, very cordial. All they want to do is talk farming, calves, breeding, you name it, milk, whatever. I can only carry on half conversations with them. They have got 30 cows that they bred to a Black Angus. So there are 30 Black Angus crosses coming for December 1st. And he told me to think about it. They'll keep them for when I'm interested. So I'm tickled to death here. Yeah, so bottle calves. Yes, I have a lot of hutches outside. Yes, they'd probably be a little bit better separated outside. That's a known fact. But I'm looking for a little convenience here, folks, because I'm still gone about 3.5 days a week. And I don't need to be adding more work than what's already here. So we're going to see how things go. Yeah, these guys are so freaking wily, aren't you? That guy's just a monster. That's about it. That was the suspense. That was a surprise. You know, I started off this YouTube channel basically with bottle calves, and a lot of them. I raised a pile of them last year. Last spring, summer, and fall. Heck, I think it was right around about 140 of them. Something like that. And of course, I made that decision to go back to work on a limited schedule, and I had to stop all that. You know, and I had swore that I wasn't going to feed another Holstein or equivalent bottle calf until the day I'm home full time again, and I've got 100 head cow calf operation. Well, sometimes things change. And I'll be honest with you folks, it feels really good to have some calves in here. I don't know what it was, but my God, did it feel good to mix some milk replacer tonight. There's something about it. Maybe it's because I've mixed 30,000 rations or better of milk replacer in my day. I don't know what it was, but it's nice to have them here. And this should work out pretty good, I would think. And this, like I said, this is my fix to help heating the barn this winter. Yeah, I know we're talking about some young animals here, but we're also talking about a very cheap route to do so. And we'll see what happens. I might have to stick a Modine here in the barn or something this winter too. We'll see what happens. But okay, for anybody that's still watching, surprise on the bottle caps. Stay tuned for some milk bar feeder action and some other videos on these calves and see how they're doing. And yeah, shout out Friday. I'm not prepared on this video to give the shout out. I want the shout out Friday to be primarily centered around the shout out, as they all deserve. I'm probably going to continue with the shout out Friday tomorrow on Saturday, and we'll probably do it during a sorghum update. The sorghum's come, it's done well this past week. It's done real well. So anyway, that's about it, folks. I hope all is well. I hope you're having a nice weekend. Everything's going your way. If it's not, fix it. Try and fix it. Do what you can. Watch the attitudes the best that you can. I need to tell that to myself all the time. And keep trucking. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a good night. And we're going to talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you sooner and later.